morning, and welcome back to another episode of Talk with the Top. I'm your Rising Six President, Staff Sergeant Murphy, and today with us we have the 33rd Rescue Squadron First Sergeant Michael Heger. Sir, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I cannot complain. Thanks for having me here, sir. So before we start the podcast, I always like to try to find out something personal with our guests. And with you, I remember when you were still the shirt for LRS that Halloween, you dressed up as Sanji, which told me that you like anime, probably a lot of One Piece. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
I liked anime for a very long time. I've been watching it since I was a very young child. My first experience with it was with my aunt. She, my dad was my first time. It was his first time meeting her and his brother, his father, and when we got there, she was watching Akira, very old school anime. Probably not anime for a young individual to be watching, but it was pretty awesome. The only thing I remembered about it the most was I can't remember the character's name, but he kept driving around in a circle, shooting at Akira, and every time he shot at him, he like scream his name, and I'm like, why are you screaming his name? Like you're giving away your position. But from there, fell in love with it. Dragon Ball Z, Pokemon was a really big influence because you had the Game Boy games, and on top of that, the anime, and from there it just kept growing and growing. Yes, I am a big lover of One Piece now. Sanji is my favorite character. I know he's a bit weird at times, but the main thing about him, he's all about taking care of the females in the crew, women in general, but the females in the crew, right? And that's what I respect about him. He doesn't put his hands on a woman. So, but with that being said, too, Oda, who's the writer for that, he does a really good job with world building. Probably the best world building in any kind of media I can think of.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. I can definitely agree with that. Speaking to that a little bit, I know one of my coworkers tried to get me to watch it forever. Took me like probably 2 or 3 times to actually start getting through the story. But once I did, I know I'd watch maybe 15, 20 episodes a day sometimes. And I think I got caught up in like 6 months to get to the Wano arc. So definitely it's up there for sure.
So what's your favorite art?
That's a little bit of a trickier question for me, just because I like the progression of the story and seeing the characters get stronger, things like that. But if I had to go back and look at it, I would probably say probably the gosh, what's the one with the war with the
Marineford?
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Whitebeard is my favorite character in the entire show.
So, yeah, that's a good character. That's a good character. Yeah, I think a lot of people say Marineford. I think for me, maybe it's just because it's recent, but Wano. I think Wano was just like
it was long though.
It was long, but like I didn't really get bored through it, right? Like I know a lot of people like Dressrosa.
Yeah, Dressrosa.
Yeah, and I just could not get into that arc, but a lot of people like that one too.
Yeah, the whole toys thing kind of threw me off a little bit with that one. So yes, sir. But to get started, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your career so far?
You already got my name right. That's the easy part, right? So I started off in the Air Force in 2008. Came in trying to do Special Forces, SEER. Dropped out of that. I was never a really good swimmer. We had to do, I can't remember if it was 20 laps, I think. We had to do 20 laps. Around the pool, and I ended up doggy paddling the whole thing. Like I can swim, but not like the best. But they were amazed that I could doggy paddle it, right? But after that, you had to do like push-ups, and I think pull-ups it was, and I just couldn't get the rest of the. I think it was the push-ups. I couldn't get the rest of the push-ups out, so washed out. Picked my jobs. I want to be a firefighter. From there, I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna put firefighter down. I'm gonna get that. Everybody else that dropped out with me got firefighter. I got supply.
Oh, nice.
But once again, saying that, I've loved supply my whole. I've been doing it my whole military career until recently, and I loved it. I thought it was a really good experience. I got my degree in logistics, so that was really awesome, and I just love the supply career field. So yeah. But anyways, from after Special Forces, our senior dropped out, went to tech school, supply, and then I went to Barksdale for my first base. Really interesting base. Met a lot of good people out there. Really good community. Fast-paced base, right? Kind of like here. From there, went to Fairchild in Washington. So I was at Barksdale for 8 years. Fairchild for 6, and Fairchild once again, really good community. Met a lot of people out there in Washington, Spokane area. One of the reasons we put that as one of our bases because my Oma, she was staying in Spanaway, which isn't too far from there,
Right.
still Washington, and from there came out to Kadena. Been here since 2003, March 2003, and it's been awesome. I really like it. Once again, it can be fast paced out here, but I really like the weekends out here. A lot of nice things to go see. A lot of nice things to do with my family. I'm a big family guy, right? That's important to me, and to be able to spend time with them and take care of them is something I really like about being out here. Like, get the job done, go home, take care of the family.
Absolutely, I love
Sorry
that.
if I talked.
No, 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 no. That's great. So you mentioned that you joined back in 2008. I want to say I was in my last year of middle school at that time. So
You call me old?
no, not that. Question is I would imagine that I don't think podcast was very heavy at that time. So can you kind of speak a little bit to what this platform does as far as like reaching the message to our airmen and NCOs who might not know you on a personal basis to just walk to your office to where they can kind of get some advice and learn about your career?
Hmm. Okay. So I mean, it kind of puts a light on, a lot of people that nowadays they use social media, technology like this, and it just gives a bigger platform to be able to put yourself out there and let people get to know you who might not be who've seen you, right? There might be somebody in the unit now who sees this and be like, hey, I like what he's saying, and he might be somebody I want to see as a mentor, right?
Yeah.
And it just gives an opportunity to get my name out there to people. And one reason I changed me in the first started is because I want to be there for people, right?
Right.
And not always perfect, but I try and do my best that whenever somebody reaches out to me, give them some advice and help them out whatever they got going on.
Absolutely. So speaking about your assignments a little bit, you mentioned that you had been to Barksdale, you had been to Fairchild, and now you've been here. For a lot of our younger airmen, this might be their first duty station, or they may have only ever been overseas. Can you speak to a little bit of some of the challenges of being stationed on the CONUS side and some of the challenges as well to being overseas?
I think I'll hit on the overseas part first. I think the challenge with overseas, especially if you're first base and you're in a company, right? I can see how it could maybe get lonely. You're trying to meet new people, and you don't always know like how to do that. I know I always try and push people to the wire beam, to because sorry, Air Force gaming. I do the Air Force gaming, right? There's a big community there, and also like try and join your dorm council and help out there, and right, just your first steps in somewhere to try and find a community to hang out with, and while also improving other airmen's life, right? Because that gives you a chance to network with other airmen.
Absolutely. And as far as the CONUS is, from what I could tell, well, deployments are always going to be something that we're called to do, being a uniform member. From what I could see so far, like maybe you get tasked a little more on the state side.
Yeah, you do.
So that could definitely be a challenge. But you mentioned that I believe Barksdale said he was there for 8 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
So pretty much they can stick you somewhere and not move you. Was that a challenge for you to be at Barksdale for so long and maybe not having the chance to move around as much as you wanted to?
So, to be honest with you, for me, everybody's got their own different taste, right? I personally didn't mind it because I've had a family since I came in, right? So it was more stability for my family. For some airmen that I knew out there and NCOs and stuff, that was hard on them because um, you know it might not have been where they wanted to be at the time, but I think for me, it was my family, right? The stability that they had. My wife was able to build ties to the community. I was able to build ties to the community. My oldest daughter at the time, she was able to build ties to the community. So for me, to be honest with you, it wasn't so much a challenge, but I can see how for other airmen, there are other airmen that wanted to come overseas. They wanted to go to whether it was Korea, Japan, the UK, Spain. I can see how that could be a challenge for them.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. I was stateside first, and the reason why I speak to that is because I think I don't know the complete logistics behind like personnel moves, things like that. It seems like there's certain bases where you might get stuck at longer. I was at Grand Forks, North Dakota, and I remember talking to my master sergeant at that time, and she was like, Yeah, there's no chance you're PCSing right now.
Mm.
Luckily, I did. Correct me if I'm wrong. What MatchCom does Barksdale fall under?
Barstow at the time was Global Strike. It was like,
Global Strike.
yeah,
Okay,
Global.
I'm not
Well, they
sure.
are still now, but from what I understand, but at that time, they're Global Strike. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I know we fell under the ACC command, so it was a slow mission on the base. I felt like you kind of got hit with a double-edged sword sometimes. Like you deploy so much so you could afford to keep like minimal personnel back.
Mm-hmm.
But then so you was busy while you was there because you might have one or two people in the shop, and then you come back from a deployment 10 months later they're like, hey, tasked again, and you're about to go. So that's definitely some of the challenges that I've noticed CODIS. Can you happen to think of any others? Because my mind's kind of drawing a blank of.
You said deployments. Honest, honest answer. Off the top of my head, just staying out of trouble. I think
Yeah,
it's a little bit easier when you're CONUS to get into things and get into trouble. We do have problems out here, but I think as a whole, especially like just look at the LRS, how big of a unit the LRS is, right? As many people, I want to say it's 800 plus
right.
to include civilians. I think with all that, we the for the majority, we do a really good job of you know taking care of each other, taking care of our members, and being there for each other.
Absolutely, I think so as well.
Um, but as far as like, man, challenges, CONUS, like, I don't know. I feel personally, I feel like there's more challenges out here,
Right.
right? Because than there is um, CONUS. That's why I think it's hard for both of us to kind of bring something to mind, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plane tickets are expensive. I can
Yes.
tell you that right now.
Yeah.
Plane-
See, like I said, getting back home, plane tickets are expensive. But with that being said, you're out here, and there's so many different areas around here you can go to, and it's cheap to get there, and so that's why I said, like, I think coming out here, some people, like you said, or like we were talking about new airmen, right? They might see like this is kind of like a drag, like, oh, why am I out here? But I think if you really look at the area you're in and all the opportunities you have, it's a lot, and you just have to. Sometimes I know it's scary to like go out and grasp those opportunities and go out and adventure. But I think if you take that time to do that, you'll really enjoy yourself out here.
as well.
I'm waiting to take my wife to Bali. That's what I'm trying. That's what I'm building
Yeah,
up
yeah.
for. Yeah.
I want to go there as well.
Yeah.
So between the three assignments so far, can you picture a favorite, or do you think you have a favorite?
I think Washington, Kadena, has Okinawa has been my favorite, but I miss a lot of my community ties from Washington. Right. So that's why like Washington is a very close second. But yeah, I think Kadena is my favorite. Like I said, the island life. My girls love the beach, so to be able to just go anywhere on the island and go to a beach is awesome. I feel like there's always something to do. Food out here, great. Me and my wife, every usually Thursday or Friday, I just meet her somewhere and we go for lunch, to give her back that time because, it's a sacrifice for her to be out here away from family too. So to show her appreciation, like we just go find a hole in the wall and we try and eat since we've been on island, we try and eat somewhere different every week or whatever. And that's just, and I do that for my lunch break, right? And that's just time given back to her to show her how important she is to me. So that's why I think out here has been really great, just for the family and everything. So.
Yes, I've heard you mention your family a few times now. So after 17 years, what motivates you to keep putting on the uniform?
So a couple things, right? For me, I mean everybody has their own thing, but for me, like first off, Christ, right? Like that's the thing that like I base my whole whether it's first sergeant, father, husband, I base all that off that, right? Like family is important to me because of that, and so that's kind of like my hierarchy, right? Christ, family, uh, military life, and serving my country is important to me. But I think more than anything, I think Christ has set me up in the military to have a ability to take care of my family, and so therefore I do everything I can to be. I don't know if I say the best, but be as efficient as possible in my duties, right? And it all just it goes around in one big circle, right?
Yes, sir. Absolutely, I love that. So I've spoken to quite a few senior NCOs, and especially like when promotion time comes around and everything. A lot of the master sergeants, I always ask them, "Do you want to go higher? Do you want to go to senior? Do you want to try to make it chief?" And most of the time, the answer I get is, as long as I'm helping my airmen, I don't really care about the rank. So being a first sergeant, I would imagine you probably fall into that line of like, I just want to help the people. But do you happen to have aspirations to try to make it to senior or potentially chief one day?
To be honest with you, so my goal coming in the Air Force was tech sergeant. You know, Airman Michael just was like, hey, I think that'll be a good goal. I'm gonna get there. If I get there, I'll be happy. That's kind of what I prayed on, right? And lo and behold, master sergeant. Never thought I'd be a first sergeant. Worked out, and I'm happy where I am. If it comes, like once again, that's always one of those lessons I see for my family, right? But for me, it's a thing of right now I can take care of airmen. That's why I wanted to do this job. I've seen people go through a lot of things, and I just wanted to be better at taking care of people when they're going through those situations. And I felt like I'm kind of a person who's forged in fire, I guess you say. Like, I think that's the saying. And to be here doing it, yeah, I did it as a NCO and a senior NCO, but being here and having it be my main focus, a good order and discipline, and taking care of people and being there for people, um, I think um, that's what I care about right now, and that's what's important to me. And if the rank comes, it comes. If not, I won't be a sit. I'll always believe that the Lord puts me where I need to be at that point in time in my life, and I think when I'm ready, he kind of he puts me where I need to be, and this is where I need to be right now. And whatever comes from there is where it comes from there. But would I be upset about it? No. But not I'm not chasing it at the moment.
I got you. Yeah. So with the diamond, I'd imagine that comes with a lot of extremely challenging situations. Can you? Is there a specific time where you was starting to think about it, or and you was like, no, like I know for sure I want my diamond. Like this is what I want to do. Was there a specific situation that happened, or something that you had seen where you was like, I feel like I could have more impact if I actually had my diamond
Um, yeah. It it was. I don't know if it'd be more impact, right? Because we can. So let me go back on that a little bit. Like I think we can all have that impact at different levels. Um, does it? Do I think it helps? Um, yes, but I think sometimes everybody from our lowest airmen to sometimes even chiefs, senior NCOs. We think that you have to have that diamond or you have to be the SEL to have that effect, and you don't. You just have to be there and be that person, right? And be that when there's somebody there that needs you and needs you to listen and needs you, and that's just what you need to do. I hope I'm saying this right. It makes sense, but I think the big thing is, no matter what your rank is, that's not what's important. It's just being there for that person, and you might not be able to help them out to a certain point, but you can get them to the help they need, right? Whether that's the first sergeant or any other resource out there that they need at that time. Sorry, what was it? What was it
on? I
really?
was was there like a specific situation without any details or anything where you was like, yeah, I would love to be a first sergeant?
Yeah, yeah, and what it really came down was it was just helping people, right? Like as I came up in rank, right, from staff to tech to master sergeant, the more I was able to kind of help people. I said, hey, I love what I do supply, but I was doing the technical and kind of the NCO part of it, right? Now I wanted to do just that, like, hey, being there, taking care of people in their situations. So yeah, so I think that's what it was. That I just grew in rank. I come to love that more, taking care of people's side and being there for people, than I did the technical side of things when it comes to like your day to day operations. So, but once again, just want to stress that anybody can do that at any level, right?
I was thinking of a question here. So what you put on your diamond, because I would imagine it's not like a DRS assignment, right? Can you like keep your diamond on for the rest of your career if you want to, or is there like I put it on and I have like how like recruiting?
So for me, an example would be like I separate in 28. Yeah, yeah, 28. So I'm gonna be separating with my hopefully, hopefully with my diamond on. But there's some people know you go back to your career field and you take that experience. So that was the other thing for me too, which was good about this was the experience I learned here. If I did stay in past that my 20, then I can take that experience back to my career field and help develop NCO airmen, but NCOs and senior NCOs into better leaders that are there for the people and taking care of the people, right?
Right.
So that was one of my game plans for that too, right? Just to be, when I do things, I try and be better than the person I was the day before, right? And then I try and pass on that knowledge slash wisdom that I learned from other people. But kind of back to your question about the diamond, like I have seen people retire with it, but there are people also who they eventually have to take that diamond off,
Right.
and they go back to their career fields. And then there are, I can't, sorry, I don't have the exact parameters on me, but there are chief diamonds, right? But I think usually you have to go back to your career for a certain point in time, then you put that, then you go back into the diamond career field. So I don't have the specifics on that.
Oh, that's okay. No. You had mentioned that, as having your diamond on now, you'd be able to take some of the things that you've learned, give it back to your leaders and airmen if you had to go back to your career field. Is there anything that being a supply troop has helped you in the first sergeant realm?
Yeah, there's been this big, I don't know exactly what percentage is, but I just want to exactly use. There's been this whole thing, maybe may have heard it, may not, but operational first sergeant, right? And being over in 33rd, there were some questions about equipment accounts, other supply questions, and I was like, oh, I know that. And so I was able to like nerd out a little bit, go talk to our DMS, trying to help resolve some situations, and call people who I knew over here on this side, right? And I was able to leverage that supply experience there and help out the unit that way too, right?
You had mentioned a little bit ago about being an ambassador for the esports gaming.
Hmm.
So, one, how did that get started? And then two, if we have some airmen out there that are interested in joining those kind of things, what are some avenues they can take?
So for Air Force Gaming specifically, I came back from deployment. I think it was 2021. I got back. Maybe 2022. I'm getting old, so my dates kind of mix up. But came back. I had a friend who had recently put on Master Sergeant. I was gonna go work with him in DMS under him, and he was like, "Hey man, I don't know if you heard about Air Force Gaming, but it's a really great opportunity, and I think it'd be really good for you, right?" I was like, "Okay, I'll try it out." So I put in the application. From there, it grew and grew and grew. Right. I ended up becoming an ambassador at Fairchild. We ended up hosting tournaments in the LRS conference room, which is, it was bigger than this. It was more like the one over there, but a little bit smaller. And then from there, we ended up having a tournament with 4 different bases all at the same time. To open up the tournament, the commanders played Mario Kart from each base. And then once that was over, we went to Apex Legends, and we had all 4 bases playing at the same time, and it was a really huge thing. And from there, I just kind of fell in love with it. Like gaming has always been a big thing for me. Big um, kind of I would say time sink, but just a way for me to unwind. Right, if I got something going on, like sometimes I just jump on a video game and play, and it just kind of helps me like unwind in those situations. But from there, came out here. It was already pretty big out here, but really good team out here. They really had a really good setup, and it's we just keep it going, right? The biggest thing for me is now with Air Force Gaming is that I'm a diamond, and I've been trying to, I wouldn't say pull back, but let the airmen within the organization kind of get themselves out there and run things and kind of and manage that. But for me, it's all community, right? And building that community, giving our airmen, not just airmen, right? We got airmen, Marines, Navy, Army, right? Giving them all an opportunity to build networks and stuff on an island. So, like I said, Air Force gaming is probably one of my favorite things in my career, to be honest with you. But now I'm pulling it back a little bit and just kind of letting the guys within the group run things so that they kind of, if I'm not available, they can run with it, and they do a really good job. They're awesome. You were talking about avenues in order to get into it. So yes, there is an application process. You can find that on our Discord, Cadena Esports .gg. I'm an old man, so I might be messing that up a little bit. But if you Google Cadena Esports Discord, it pulls right up. There's QR codes all around Island. Say it, and you can go in there. If you can't find the application, then you can go onto the Ask Us chat in the Discord, and we can direct you to the right avenue. And I just think it's a really good volunteer opportunity, really good time to network, and it kind of gives people like I know there's a bunch of gamers out there, right? And sometimes we're looking for volunteer opportunities, but we might not want to do certain ones. But I think anytime you can volunteer and do gaming, and if that's something you enjoy, it makes it a lot easier. And I'm getting older. I don't have as much knowledge as I do on some of these games, and so I'm always looking for my team. We as Air Force Gaming are always looking for opportunities to find people who are good at those games, know the rules, and get out there and have a good time. So, yeah.
I know what you mean, sir. I used to be really big into Call of Duty. The reaction time just ain't the same anymore.
No,
It's just
you see that
like
Battlefield 6 coming out?
I did see that. I was
Yeah.
like, I don't know, like the whole Warzone, like battle royale thing, like I don't know, it's too much. It's too much. I like casual multiplayer, 6v6. You know,
Yeah.
I don't want to be worried about getting shot from here and there. You know, like
Yeah,
I
that
don't
bullet
know.
drop is crazy.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, sir, in the military, we talk a lot about you're going to find your own excuse me, your own leadership style. So, can you speak a little bit to some either times or a specific person who helped you develop your own leadership style?
As of recently, first sergeant that was recently here, Senior Maxwell, Sir Maxwell, she was really good at helping me develop into a diamond. She like, you know, diamonds are forged, and I think she really helped me to kind of figure out what kind of diamond I wanted to be and where I wanted to go in my career.
Senior Maxwell, shout out Senior Maxwell.
Yeah, she's awesome, man. She's awesome. Like that's not me exaggerating. She's a very good shirt. I've one of my favorite I've seen in my career. So she really cares about the people, and she really thinks about when she's going to make decisions with commanders and SEL. She really brings all the facts and really tries to see what is the best outcome for um, everyone involved.
Certainly. I think that's one thing that I've noticed in my short time of trying to be a leader is your leadership style might have to change depending on the situation. So I've always tried to like just being me. Like I'm a little bit more laid back, but we get the job done, kind of a thing. So that's just been my leadership style. But go ahead.
I was gonna say, so back when I was before I put on the diamond, a lot of the times, especially since in that tech area, I was really trying to develop. I'm always about trying to develop people below me, right? So what I would like to do is empower. I think sometimes our NCOs, especially staffs, even techs, right? They don't understand the authority, I guess is the word I'm looking for, that they have, right? So I try really hard to give them that, understand that they have that power to be able to make those decisions. And yeah, sometimes those decisions won't turn out the way that they want them to or I want them to. But hey, let's make those decisions. If no one lost any limbs and everybody's okay, we can talk about it and we can say, hey, let's not go that route. And even with my senior airman, right? I'm a bit advocate of like, hey, senior airman, you're one test away from being a staff sergeant, right? So I try and push for my staff, so hey, treat them that way, right? Like these are gonna be the people, these are gonna be your peers soon, and it's just someone you need to develop them into someone that you'd want to work beside, right? That makes sense, yeah. But yeah, so that's kind of like the way I did things. I try to give power to those under me to make decisions and do things, and then let them know that hey, if there's a mistake, I'm not gonna come down on you. Like we're gonna own it together. We're gonna figure it out, and we're gonna move on. Because right, once again, my whole thing is hey, just be better than the person you were the day before.
Do you think that through your career, like there's information that we could find somewhere, or is it just about finding that good mentor, or is it just through like experience that you would recommend that NCOs, senior junior airmen, are going to find their own leadership style? Is it just more of like you got to go through it to like kind of learn it kind of thing, or is there specific information out there that we can try to say, go read this?
I think I have an interesting answer to this. For me, it was kind of like you said, right? Like you kind of develop as you, like you have mentors. We have professional development courses that can help you, and I 100% advise you onto those. I was the kind of person like I'd hear something like, not at that level, but like senior NCO, I'm like, I don't want to go do that. But as I started going to stuff like that, NCOA, all that good stuff, as I started going to stuff that, I really valued the information that came out of it. But at the same time, I honestly believe that you on the job training is the best training. And as you work with people, go through these experiences, you develop yourself as a leader and who you want to be. But yes, find mentors, educational seminars you can go to, professional development you can go through, and use all those to your advantage, right? I know like Toastmasters used to be, I don't know if you know what that is. It used to be a big thing back in the day. They kind of help you with, if you weren't great at like talking, speeches, and stuff in front of people, it was a class that would help you do that. Like I had some fellow NCOs that went. I never went, but I had some fellow NCOs that went, and I could see how they developed and that changed them a lot. I know I kind of like, so the way I learned how to like do better with talking to people and mentoring to people was I decided I was going to teach the high schoolers at my church or whatever. I like was like, hey, I want to do this, talk to pastor, and high schools would call you out on your stuff, especially like, I was newer to the faith. They've been in it their whole life. So you mess up, so they'd be like, that's not right. Like, you have to talk about it. So it kind of got me in the, and it was like I was teaching every Sunday, right? So it just got me in the habit of like teaching people and working with people. I was already doing, yes, I was doing it as an NCO. This was like when I was a staff, I started doing this, but I think it really helped me be more comfortable talking in front of people and talking to people. So like I said, you just got to find, sorry, I know I'm like rambling about this, but you just got to find like that thing that helps you develop. And if you can't find it, then like ask your, don't be afraid to talk to your NCOs, your senior NCOs, and be like, hey, I need help developing. Can you point me towards something that'll help me with that? So yeah, I think it's a little bit of everything, but more than anything, I think it's experience and putting yourself in those situations. Sometimes, we're forced to fire.
So as a first sergeant, I'd imagine that your job description is a variety of different things. Um, is there a specific time when, as you being a first sergeant, that you like there was a situation that happened and it's just like something clicked and it's like, oh, I know exactly what to do that you might not have known before?
Yeah, I don't want to go into 100% of the details of what it was, but we get a lot of training in the military.
Right.
Not that I was like, oh, I never use this. I wouldn't say that, but you'd be surprised that when you're in that situation, because we train on it every year,
Right.
it clicks and you just go. I think that's what you were asking me. And it was a situation like I had a situation like that last year. When that situation came, and it was an important situation because of the training that I've been given in the past. It was like second nature. I just rolled and yeah, I'll say the best option came out of that situation that could have came out of that situation. Absolutely. So and I think that and I take that back to the training that we're given every year.
Right. Absolutely. That's great. So, sir, with 17 years going right now, have you started to think about how you want your career to end, or do you have a certain vision of how you think you want it to go? And will there be tears?
I think it's on the path right now where I don't want to retire as a first sergeant. Be done. This would be my last hurrah, right? Will there be tears? I don't know, but I always said that I don't know if you can do this. I need to look into this. It's getting about that time, but for my retirement, I just want to have a big barbecue. Like that's it, just a barbecue. Like let's go out and talk. I just want to have a barbecue and be around people I know and people. Hopefully have some people um, that I've met in my career there to celebrate with me and family and friends. Yeah, but yeah, just a big barbecue. Like I don't want like the whole um, ceremony. Like I guess there'll be some kind of ceremony there, but like not your usual where you're in a building. Nah, let's just go barbecue. Let's have a good time.
I love that. I love that. So to close the interview, there's one question that we always get more submitted to us than the others. But as you stand here as Shirt Hager, what's some advice that you could go back and give Airman Hager and NCO Hager?
It's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. There'll be a lot of worry, a lot of oh man, I messed this up, I did this, right? It's okay. Learn from. It took me a long time to see that hey, when I made mistakes, those mistakes were just to make me better, right? You learn, you fall down, and you get back up, and you keep what you do when you get back up is what's important. So yeah, just it's okay.
I like that one. I like that one a lot. Yeah. All right, sir. I appreciate it. That's all the thing that we have for today. Thank you for coming by.
Appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate it.